Her mother looked at the wall, lined with her daughter's trophies and certificates, evidence of 10 years of glory. But suddenly, she realized, her daughter hadn't smiled in 10 years. The next day, she received protection money. But Chasik wasn't offended. With his usual good-natured spirit, he simply asked, "Then how should I change?" Faced with such sincerity, even Yusal's mother was at a loss for words. Later, Yusal wanted to thank Chasik for everything he had done. Then, instead of accepting a gift, he brought her to a quiet underpass and asked for one thing: "I want to hear you play." Yusal sat silently before the piano, and then her fingers began to move across loomed from the black and white keys. In that moment, Chasik's desire to learn piano grew even stronger. But back at school, while Yusal was changing in the classroom, a male student tried to secretly record her with his phone. Startled by a sound outside, she froze mid-motion and only resumed when she was sure the intruder had left. As it turned out, Chasik didn't know what to do with her phone, and even offered to share the video. Kim Mok smashed the phone and punched him hard, but in doing so, he injured his own hand, his piano hand. When his father saw the wound, he said that cold silence from his own family pushed Kim Mok into despair. His father had always known. Kim Mok's piano talent was mediocre. His success came only from sheer discipline and obsession. But being part of a wealthy, high-pressure family meant hearing only praise, never honest feedback, and that had blinded him. If he didn't wake up soon, the blow from reality would only hit harder. Enraged, Kim Mok slammed his injured hand on the piano keys. Each strike was an outburst of pain. "I won't play again," he swore. The next day, a new poster went up on the school bulletin board. The annual duo piano competition was only 4 months away. Chasik's eyes lit up. But everyone laughed. "You don't even meet the basic qualifications to sign up." That's when Chasik made his boldest. He revealed, "My father is pianist Hyun-myung Sik." He even showed a photo of his parents together. The class dismissed it as a celebrity selfie. Frustrated, Chasik declared, "Then I'll win the competition and prove it." Even Yusuf thought that was ridiculous. Most contestants had 10 years of piano training, not even a foundation. Even if he were Mozart's son, 4 months wouldn't be enough. Her words made Chasik fall silent. On the way home, he didn't say "ah." The normally chatty, upbeat boy was suddenly quiet. All around them was nothing but silence. What Yusuf didn't know was, every night, Chasik dreamed the same dream. In that dream, he and Yusuf played the same melody side by side. She wasn't blind, and he wasn't seen as some thug. Whenever their eyes met, they smiled. One evening, he brought her to the same underpass again. He looked at the piano and said, almost to himself, if this was how it all began, could there be a chance? She didn't believe it, so Chasik played the song from his dream. Then he began to play. He played the song from his dream, because he thought, if this was only a dream, it would be such a waste. What Yusuf didn't know was how much effort Chasik had put into preparing for that moment. How many early mornings, how many books, how many failures. Despite the stares from strangers, Chasik practiced in the underground passage day and night, all for a dream that wasn't even real. But in his scarred, calloused hands, Yusuf felt something else entirely. His stubbornness, his quiet strength. It reminded her of her own resilience. And just like that, the girl who had nearly given up on music found herself believing again. She smiled. That night, Chasik told his mother, "I'm entering the piano competition. One day, I'll make it so you won't have to struggle anymore. You won't have to stay out so late hanging up posters." His mother looked at her son, so grown, so earnest, and for the first time, she truly began to hope that this competition might change everything. Later, Yusuf braved the snow with a textbook balanced on her head, Jinmak quietly holding an umbrella over her head. "I heard acid in the snow can make your hair fall out," she warned him. "I'm not trying to go bald before I turn 20. Just then, Chasik walked by, snatched the umbrella away, and left with her. Jinmak watched the girl disappear into the distance. Outside the school gate, Chasik and Yusuf's duet partner energy shifted. Yusuf grabbed Chasik by the collar. At this rate, we're nowhere near ready. If you go on stage now, we'll be a laughingstock. And I'm not getting embarrassed because of you. But despite the friction, they encouraged each other, pushed each other, and together they walked into the storm. Thus began Yusuf's hell training program for Chasik. Though she couldn't see, she could instantly tell by the sound of each key whether his hands were out of place. What started as lessons soon became daily roast sessions, each correction sharper than the last. They bickered constantly, like sworn rivals 1 minute, best friends the next. Their days were filled with fights, laughter, and endless practice. Suddenly, 2 months had passed. Chasik's skills improved drastically, and their four-hand duet was beginning to truly sing. Chasik, despite his goofy, rebellious exterior, had a heart stronger than steel. Yusuf, beneath her cold and guarded shell, held a vibrant, curious soul. They made a promise. Whatever tomorrow brings, whether joy or hardship, they would face it side by side without fear. Elsewhere, the two mothers met face to face. No, not to arrange a wedding, but because Yusuf's mother had decided to sell the piano, believing her daughter had abandoned music for good. And Chasik's mother? She had come with the hope of buying one. After hearing that her son was serious about competing, maybe it was the alcohol Yusuf's mother had drunk. Yusuf's mother did the unthinkable. She offered to give the piano away, not because she no longer cared, but because she didn't want her daughter's tragedy to repeat itself in someone else's child. When Yusuf lost her sight, her mother cried until her body felt hollow. There were days she couldn't see a reason to go on. But even in that darkness, she was the first to pick herself up. She covered every sharp corner in the house with padding. She quietly followed behind her daughter on the walk to school. Even when Yusuf practiced alone in the freezing subway, her mother would stand nearby, trembling, hiding her hands in her coat sleeves. And it was there that she first saw her daughter's smile. Like this video and subscribe this channel. More dramas wait for the last part.